Tennessee has revealed its home designations for 2025. Not jersey designations, because they still have to do the smoky grays and the black jerseys, but their home designations, what they're going to do for home games. They are going to, and this is going to be 4 downs. But there are 3 home games with 4 designations. Let me say up front, I'm not crazy about how they designate these things, okay? And I never have been. I'm a fan of these home designations. I always have been. I just think they need to be done better. So what do I mean by this? I think Tennessee should try to, they like to wear the black jerseys one time a year, and then they like to wear the smoky gray jerseys one time a year. I think the smoky gray jerseys should always be worn the first Saturday game they play in the fall, whoever that's against, as long as it's not Florida, Georgia, or Alabama. I want to try to get their schedule again to be against teams that they play in the fall, to not be one of the primary teams, like the first Saturday in the fall. So let me just give it to you this year. Like their first Saturday in the fall would technically be UAB. The first Saturday, either the first Saturday of the fall or the last Saturday of technical summer. Okay, when it's basically fall. The closest to the first day of fall. That would be UAB. Where the smoky gray jerseys against UAB. I would love that idea. That's who they would play this year. I think the black jerseys should be worn on the Saturday closest to Halloween, hopefully before Halloween, but this year that would be November the 1st, which is the day after Halloween. And since I would do it on November the 1st, which would be Oklahoma. So you wear your black jerseys the Saturday closest to Halloween, because it's like Halloween, black and orange, and you wear your smoky grays the Saturday closest to the first day of fall. Then you checker Neyland, I will agree, for your biggest home game that year, whoever that's against. Checker Neyland for your biggest home game. Those are the 3 ways to do it. And then you do your honoring people at different games that you know you're going to win. You have a homecoming game, you have a Legends game, things like that. So we're going to play 4 downs. And we're going to talk about what Tennessee's doing for each of not the jersey designations, for the home designations this year. And then I'm going to say how I would have divvied up everything given the schedule. So 4 downs now, brought to you by Ted Russell Ford Lincoln, your home for the finest vehicles in Knoxville, new and used, East Tennessee's largest Ford and Lincoln volume dealer. 4 downs. Let's dive in. First down, Tennessee is going to checker Neyland for Georgia. I think that's fine. I just think it's a bad omen. They're 4-4 in checker Neyland all time. And again, 3 of those wins are against Florida, and 2 of those wins are against Florida when Florida was unranked and either had a losing record or finished the season with a losing record at the time. So it's not like they've had a lot of great success with checker Neyland. The most legendary checker Neyland game was obviously the same time they wore the smoky grays, which was 2016, when they did both at the same time against Florida. Fell behind 21-0, went into halftime down 21-3, and then went on a tear and scored 35 unanswered in the second half to win 38-21. Absolutely dominated Florida to win 38-28. That ended in an 11-game losing streak to Florida in the series. So checker Neyland is coming for Georgia. Next, salute to Tennessee legend. This year, that will be College Football Hall of Famer John Henderson, who is getting inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. We all remember John Henderson won the Outland Trophy for Tennessee in 2000 and was a 2-time All-American in 2000 and 2001. John Henderson was a legend for Tennessee, and then became an NFL Pro Bowler. He was just an absolute stud in every way possible. He did so many great things for Tennessee during his time. His most impressive game actually kind of came in a loss, which was 2000 against LSU, when he had 6 tackles and recovered a fumble. But then he also was a huge part of Tennessee's legendary win over Florida in the Swamp in 2001, when he only had half a sack, but he pressured Grossman all night, had a deflection that resulted in an interception, and just absolutely gave Rex Grossman hell throughout the game. So John Henderson was a legend in Tennessee football history, and is one of the greatest of all time in Tennessee. I think is in a very, very rare pantheon of elite players. John Henderson will be honored for the Georgia game. I have to say, I might have honored him for a different game. because with well, I love Checker Neyland. You know what? I take that back. John Henderson is such a hype man. You need him for the Georgia game. You got Checker Neyland. I'm fine with having him in for the Georgia game because John Henderson will hype everybody up. John Henderson is one of the most vocal, hype defensive tackles I've ever seen. Love the guy. John Henderson. I'm fine with that. All right. Next, Champions Weekend, when Tennessee honors champions of all sports from any different year. I don't like this. I think they should honor anniversaries of champions because you have anniversaries for every different year in a decade, pretty much. I'm going to get to that. For instance, this year's 2025. You should be honoring the 1985 SEC champions, the Sugar Vols, the beloved Sugar Vols. That's who you should be honoring. This whole Champions Weekend is absolutely ridiculous. It was ridiculous that in 2023 they did a Champions Weekend when it should have been the 25-year anniversary for the 1998 national champion team. Champions Weekend should honor specific champions, and you can do it for anniversaries for every year. I just told you guys 2025, you can honor the 40-year anniversary of the 1985 SEC champions. In 2026, I would venture to say you can honor, and I'm kind of looking back in history if I'm trying to think, 2026, the 75-year anniversary of the 1951 national champions. Boom. There you go. 2027, the 30-year anniversary of the 1997 SEC champions, and the 60-year anniversary of the 1967 SEC champions who now claim a national championship. 2028, again, anything ending with an 8, you can do the 1998 national champions. And by the way, you can also do the 1938 national champions. That was the first Tennessee team to win an SEC championship, the first team to finish ranked in the AP poll. They finished number 2, the first team in Tennessee history to declare a national championship, and the first team in Tennessee history to go to a bowl game and win a bowl game. So you can always honor that team too, as well as the 1998 team. 2029, you can honor the 40-year anniversary of the 1989 SEC champions. You can honor the 90-year anniversary of the 1939 team that went undefeated, untied, and unscored upon. Any number ending in a 0. You can honor the decade anniversary of the 1950 national champions. See how easy it is to honor teams? I think you should do it specifically for each year, and I think this year it's so obvious. You need to honor the 1985 national champions. By the way, any year ending in a 0, you can also honor the 1990 SEC champions. Champions Weekend should honor specific champions. I don't like this brawl Champions Weekend thing, but that's what they're doing, but they're doing it for Arkansas. That was third down. Second down was salute to Tennessee legend John Henderson, and first down was Checker Neyland. Fourth down, coming up, first a quick message from Ted Russell Ford.
Like a blast from the past, the Super Dealer is back. Look to the skies, Knoxville. The Super Dealer is fighting for price, service, and the American made. Ted Russell Ford is East Tennessee's #1 volume Ford dealer. Save up to $4,350 on a new Ford F-150 XLT, or get into a new Ford Ranger XLT with no payments for 90 days. Come see the Super Dealer today at either Ted Russell Ford.
Fourth down brought to you by Ted Russell Ford Lincoln Studio and Tennessee's home schedule designations for 2025. New Mexico State is homecoming, and salute to service. Totally fine with that. I have no issues. That's how it should be. Obviously, Vanderbilt's going to be senior day. Now, here's what I would do if I were Tennessee with this schedule that they have this year. Here's how I would designate every single game. You ready? I would designate ETSU as Champions Weekend. ETSU is Champions Weekend. That's the first home game of the year. I would honor Champions Weekend. I would go and I would honor the 1985 SEC champions. Bring them back. That's how I would do that. Okay. Georgia, I would Checker Neyland and bring John Henderson in to hype everybody up. UAB, I'm going to make UAB homecoming. I know New Mexico State is homecoming, but I'm going to make UAB homecoming. And the reason I want to make UAB homecoming is for a specific reason. I would want New Mexico State to not be homecoming because I would like to spread things out. So UAB would be my homecoming game. Arkansas would be the Smoky Grays. I know I said UAB is the closest to the fall, but I just want it really in the fall, but not Halloween. Arkansas would be my Smoky Grays. I'm wearing the Smoky Grays for Arkansas. October 11th, Neyland Stadium in early October. Guys, I always tell you this. It is beautiful at Neyland Stadium in early October. And also, you probably want to not as highly touted of a game with the hope that it'll be in the afternoon, because one of the things I don't like about the new SEC schedule is I actually like the 3:30 kickoff better for Tennessee home games. The backdrop of Neyland Stadium at 3:30, nothing accentuates college football better than that, and I would hope Arkansas does that. Oklahoma would be my black jerseys, and I would hope to wear those at night. New Mexico State would be my salute to service game. It's right around Veterans Day during that time. It's perfect to have that salute to service. And then Vanderbilt would be obviously senior day. That's the way I would play this. I know not everybody's going to play it that way, but that's just the way I would play it. I feel like there's just I feel like there's not enough of thinking this through all the way. You have something for every single game. You can honor your legends. You can honor your champions. There's literally not a game. If you do it this way, there's not a game that doesn't have an impact of some sort. I think that's the best way to do it. You spread it out and you do what you need to do to have all the hype you needed.